Good evening. Tonight's award for the most valuable player of our PHCP divisions is so valuable that we've decided it takes two of us to present this award. And here with me is the President and CEO of Peirce-Phelps and a member of the AD Board, Brian Peirce. Brian, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. We're not going to keep you in too much suspense. This award is too important, and the recipient too much of a wonderful man not to tell you right away that the winner of this year's AD MVP award is Mike McInernery of Thomas Somerville. Now, sit down for a second, Mike, sit down. We might have a few nice things to say about you. You know, I had the pleasure of serving on the board for 6 of the 12 years that Mike was on the board. In fact, I think he's the reason why we now have term limits on the board. But I will tell you that without a doubt and wholeheartedly, he served the membership with an amazing grace, providing advice and counsel to the board, to Bill, and to the entire AD team. One of the things I most admire about Mike is he was always willing to do the hard work and take the tough jobs of the board. The audit committee was never known and will never be mislabeled as the fun and entertaining committee of the AD board, but it is probably the most important function that we do, providing oversight of the financials and making sure that everything is run correctly. And through Mike didn't only serve on the board, he on the audit committee, he chaired it for many, many years. And really under his leadership is when we saw a lot of the audit rules and the measures come in place that really created the standard for financial operating excellence that AD has. And the reason why Bill could say today that we have rock-solid financials is in no small part to the work that Mike McInerney has done over the last few years. So Mike, from all the members of the board who have served with you, and I'm sure from everybody in this room, I want to thank you personally for the wonderful work you have done and the dedication you've had to make AD a success. We may have filled your spot on the board, but you will never, ever be replaced. Bill?
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, you know, typically I have the luxury of being able to survey the membership and analyze and look for the talent and select from the people to serve on the AD board, but sometimes you don't, that's not the way it works. In 2001, when the CL Watt group merged into AD, the chairman of CL Watt, Michael McInerney, became an automatic member of the AD board. That's a traditional process, the chairman coming over from one group to serve on the board of another. So, you know, I wasn't quite sure what we were going to get with Michael, but it didn't take very long to find out. Mr. McInerney is such an incredible leader. Earlier there was a quote from John Maxwell. Another one of my favorite John Maxwell quotes is that everything in life comes down to leadership, and Michael McInerney has that in spades. He, not only within his own company where he's shepherded that family business and done such an amazing job cultivating great leaders, people like Pat McGowan now, who's president and serves on the plumbing divisional board, but working with the family within Thomas Somerville so they truly understand the treasure that they have in that business. But within the AD board, if there's one person that I could always count on to tell me the truth, no matter how unpopular that might be, it was Mike McInerney. He is a courageous, wise, kind, and generous person. And we have, by the way, we have 7-year terms on the AD board, and Mike served for 12 years. And I'll tell you what, every year I would say, you know, Mike, I think this is going to be your last year, and then something would come up that was hard, that was challenging, and I said, I need Mike. I mean, gosh, you know, this organization, Michael, has benefited so tremendously from your personal leadership and your contributions. and I have too. You are far and away the best AD board member we have ever had, and I am enormously grateful and proud to present to you the Plumbing and PVF and HVAC Most Valuable Player Award. Michael McInerney.
First thing I'd like to do is renegotiate my contract. No, but I'm humbled to get this award. There are 3 people in my AD experience that helped me along the way with good advice and counsel. The first one is Roy Weeks. I've probably known Roy for 30 years. We started out as members of CL Watt. He then became head of marketing for CL Watt. We went through the merger, both the good and the bad times, and we've been great friends ever since. Now, Roy had good counsel and he had not so good counsel. I'll give you an idea of the not so good counsel. After my first board meeting, a few of us stayed around to play golf. And I was lucky enough to play with Bill, and we're standing on the first tee, and Roy comes up to me and says, you know, if you really want to get to know and ingratiate yourself to Bill, he loves to get tips on how to play golf. Needless to say, it was exactly opposite. Now, I might have been the quickest board member. I might have lasted 1 meeting if Bill hadn't been playing well that day. But fortunately, I got through that. Then I'd like to say thanks to Jeffrey Bell, who we started out in CL Watt when we bought his PVF group into the CL Watt, and he helped us get through the merger. And then I sort of lost track of him for 4 or 5 years, and then he came on the board. And he was really contributing to the board more than I was. He was a great guy, and it just so happened that the timing for AD and the timing for Jeffrey were right, and we were able to get him to come to work for us. Finally, Bill Weisberg. Anybody who knows Bill knows that he's an extremely smart guy, and he's very driven. The tribute to Bill is what's happened to AD over his tenure. We've grown substantially. So I want to thank everybody and tell you that I'm going to put this award up on my mantle right next to the picture that has a dart in it of Roy Weeks.